Well, I'm Smile Honey. I'm Dee from Smile Honey Child, and I'm super excited. This has been a dream come true for me. I started Smile Honey Child in a vision about 5 years ago, and I had the old Oculus. It was real bulky, and I mean, it was like you could put your phone in it. I don't know if you remember that. You put your phone in it, and it. Yeah, it was one of those Oculus. I'm like, what in the heck? But I had a vision right there that I needed to make a safe place for women. And I started my vision. I started telling people about my vision. And it was like, huh? What in the world are you talking about? So I literally gave up on that vision probably for about 3 years. But I always would write about it. If I had an opportunity to help women within a virtual reality world, so they can feel safe. And somebody say, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to create a world where you don't really get to physically touch anyone or see anyone? I said, well, let me tell you my story. Okay. Well, I came from a tough background, but the one thing was I was abused when I was little. I was abused in the home. So what happened was when you're abused, you don't really have anybody to talk to. You're 7, 8 years old. Who do you talk to? Well, we did have Nintendo. We did have like different outlets where you can act like you were, in a game or something like that to kind of release. So I was thinking, what if I could talk to somebody within my, like on the game system, like the Mario Brothers or something? Maybe I can talk to somebody. And I've always wanted to feel like if I can talk to somebody and get it off my chest, but I couldn't. So I would continue getting abused for 9 years. And the person that abused me was a part of my family. So it was really hard to get help. So once I did get older, I noticed that I still wasn't telling my story. I still kept it hidden. And I would have these nightmares. And in the nightmare, I feel like that I was drowning in just like a dark space. And I noticed myself like, I'm really not healing here. Like if you've ever had any type of abuse or any type of trauma, it is a lonely space when you don't tell anybody, when you don't share your story, when you feel like that you're alone. I was that girl. I was that one, and I came out strong. You wouldn't tell it. You couldn't tell it. You couldn't see it on my face that I was hurting. You could not see it. I would always stay strong in every moment of my life. So my friends was like, Dee, I know that you're a strong individual, but there's something about you that I feel like you're not telling us. And it was one of my best friends, and she was like, what are you not saying? And I said, well, I've always kept it hidden because it's kind of something that you kind of get embarrassed about. So opening up to her was a good release, but I didn't have her all day long. I didn't have her 24/7. I was like, I still have these night terrors. I still have all these things that's happening to me. And I'm like, what do I do? So fast forward, I end up telling her, she ended up telling somebody else, and I ended up getting help. But the help that I was getting was not the help that I was really needing. It wasn't like a mindset coach. It was like, okay, take this prescription. You might need 3. No, let's give you 4. And it was like giving you medicine after medicine. And then I would take that medicine and it would make me either gain weight or would make me sleepy or would just make me loopy. And then everybody's like, what's wrong with you? I'm on medication. Okay, but that's still not helping the problem. That's still not helping what I had going on. So I would sit back and like, I need to get true help. And I remember screaming out, this is a true story, I was on a suicidal watch, and I remember screaming to God, saying, help me, you see me, please help me. I have 3 kids, I've been married for 18 years. I'm still dealing with this trauma. I'm still dealing with this. I'm having nightmares. Nobody can give me a prescription to take care of these nightmares. Like, there's no prescription. Even if it is going to take care of the daytime, there's no prescription to take me out of my nightmare. So I was screaming to God, to the heavens, please help me, because if not, I'm going to take my life. I'm an introvert, a true introvert. Asking for help from anyone is not easy. We're strong women. We are taught to be strong. We have to be strong. We have kids. We have a husband. We have even, just daily lives. If you don't have a husband, you don't have kids, just the daily life of a woman, you are built to be strong. I know men have to be strong too, but it's a different thing. We have so many compartments that we have to compartmentalize just to get through the day. And a lot of men don't understand that. And so me talking to my husband about this was not an option at times. And it got to be redundant, me going through these episodes. But after I screamed out, probably about 2 months later, a Canadian geese showed up. And this is no joke. 2 Canadian geese showed up. And then I started feeding the Canadian geese. I'm like, okay. All of a sudden, till today, I have 26 Canadian geese. I have over 5 cranes. I have like 100 ducks. Like all these animals came. It was like God heard me scream in a world that I felt so small, in a world that I felt lost, in a world that I felt like nobody heard me. It was like the animals were coming like, okay, we hear you because you're screaming so loud. We hear you. So, and then after that, my husband ran into a lady, because like I said, I'm an introvert. My husband ran into a lady at the gym, and the lady was a mindset coach. She was a professional mindset coach, and she said, I'm going to help you, but she charged like $1,700 a month. And I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna be able to afford that. And that's another thing we run into. We can't afford to get the help that we need. But she said, for some reason, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to help you, and I'm not going to charge you a thing. But you got to build my website. I said, okay, I'll build your website. I needed help. I built websites at the time. I was like, okay, we can barter. So I built her website, and then she had a friend that was another a coach for Black vegan fitness, and I needed help with fitness. And then she had a friend that had needed help with finances. So she helped me with my finances. So this is like a chain reaction. But then I started telling them about my vision of the VR world. I started telling them that I wanted to create a VR world where we can come together, where I can house your expertise within the world, like your mindset coach, to give women a place to go to that they can access 24/7, and they can actually heal. I was like, okay. And they were like, okay, we don't understand it. It's weird. It sounds like it's something that too complex. I said, don't worry about it, because most of the time the doctors, they don't understand technology. So this world is so important for me, Smile Honey Child, because we're bringing in another opportunity for women to get help. Smile Honey Child was based off of a virtual reality world for all of us to get help. No matter what race, what color, we can all get help. And that's what it's all about, working together, always coming together, loving each other, having a space that you feel safe. You can be encouraged by other women. We work together. And that's what Smile Honey Child is about. We want you to smile again. The whole purpose of my nonprofit is to help women smile again. If you've ever been through trauma, if you've ever been depressed, if you've ever had suicidal thoughts, it's hard to talk to people. It's truly hard to open up to somebody. Me telling about my story is hard, but it gets easier once you start building relationships and you can start trusting people to open up and see this world is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. We're here. You don't really know these people, but the thing is, like, we can share our stories without being judged, and actually having a place to heal. That is what Smile Honey Child is about. That's what the Women's Summit is about, is to be able to have these opportunities to share our stories, to share our expertise, to share our love for each other, and to help each other. That's one thing that I want everybody to take from what I'm saying today, is to encourage each other. Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated by the next girl, oh yeah, you look nice. I like what you got on, but we all have these same assets. We can all like switch up our outfits. Talk about, give me some pointers. I like what you got on, girl. Compliment each other. Encourage each other. You don't know how that makes a person feel throughout the day. And having a virtual reality world where you can be open and just talk about whatever, it can bring so many relationships from all over the world. And you'll realize that we all have one thing in common. We're very strong women, no matter what we've been through. Smile, honey, child. I can't hear y'all, but
woohoo! Yes.
Smile, honey, child.
Yes, lady. Yes. Yes.
Before my grandmother's probably looking at me in heaven. I got the name because my grandmother used to tell me, you're a pretty girl. You're so pretty, girl, but you never smile. You have to smile, honey, child. I said, that's going to be the name of the nonprofit. That's right. You have to smile.
Yes.
You're crying.
Me too. You know, please. I love it. I love it.
Look, we can all love each other. Big hug, big hug.
Big hug.
Thank you so much, Miss Paige, for giving me the opportunity.
Yay.
And I hope you guys visit the Small Honey Child World and like the page. We have great opportunity, and there's resources within Smile Honey Child, real doctors, real professional therapists and life coaches, and even fitness coaches. So we have that. And if you have anybody else that wants to be a part of Smile Honey Child, and it's no cost to them, it's just giving the resource and your time to a lady in need.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Take care.
Fabulous. Yeah.